Welcome in for another edition of On the Tee. I'm Anita Marks, my co-host, who join me each and every Tuesday night. Let's bring him on board. John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club.
How's everyone?
What's up, John?
How are you, Anita?
Are you kidding me? Like, I could smell it. I could feel it. Golf season is right around the corner. Like, I'm sure you've already got a lot of people who are teeing it up at Alpine Country Club. We're itching at the bit to get back there on the course playing golf. Can't wait. And of course, when you do, you got to look good. That's why we bring in Christina Thompson, owner, CEO extraordinaire of Golf for Her. Because I always say, you play better when you look better. You want to, you got to look good in order to play well on the golf course. Christina, obviously John didn't get the blue memo.
No, he did not.
I got blue camo on. I mean, you can't see it because it's camo, but
no, we can't.
You're blending into the background.
Exactly. We can't see it because it's camo, dude. What's
Just
up?
see your
Anyway,
your face.
It is on the tee. You know how we roll. This is this is like our 7th, 8th show, something like that. I mean, we've done quite a few of these already. We will look back and recap the Honda Classic, and we're really excited to look forward to match play. That's what's happening. It is starting tomorrow, guys. Man, you know how late I'm going to be up tonight putting in all my bets and all my brackets and all that good stuff?
I think after the show, I'm going to have to change my bracket because you guys always have such good intel that I'm going to do like 4 brackets because I think I'm going to have to change that.
I'm going to go out. I'm going to run on a limb and say that you have the all chalk. Nothing but chalk.
You're allowed one bracket. And by the way, we're really excited about it. We have an On the Tee pool. If you can, log on to any of our social media Twitter sites, at Anita Marks, Golf for Her. There you go. Look, John's just pointing to his because he's too busy drinking his adult beverage, which, by the way, cheers. Cheers, my friends. Oh, look at you, Christina. Always with the show. Always with the show drink. Before we get to the show drink, again, we're really excited. We have an On the Tee pool March Madness makes its way to the links, right? So it's kind of the same way that you fill out your March Madness bracket. We have the Dell WGC Match Play Championship. They have a bracket you could fill out and submit to different pools. And so we have our own pool. So if you want, we've got a link to that pool on all our social media sites. So by all means, and John, would you like to let the listeners out there know whoever wins, whoever comes in first gets what?
Callaway Epic Speed Driver. Let's go. The best driver out there.
Did you know that? Did you know that, Christina? Did you know that John was going to donate a driver to the winner of our pool?
Well, that is very exciting. Now I have to go back in and change my bracket.
Well, I'm going to give it to myself, really.
I think that's fancy pants over there. So we're really excited about it. All right. As always, we like to start off the show because we are all sipping on some adult beverage while we do the show. Actually, Christina, while I sip on my white wine, because again, we are getting closer and closer to golf season. Why don't you share with us what's our show drink this week and why?
Well, I had my own little match play between one drink that I wanted to drink tonight and a second one, and the winner was the Paloma. The other drink I wanted to do tonight was the Mama Juana. This is because this is a Dominican drink, it's a little crazy for me, so I didn't want to drink it tonight, but it's a really good drink to drink while I'm watching match play. So if your players you pick lose, you can just do a shot of this, but it's a Dominican drink. There is a match going on down in the Dominican this week. But I'm skipping on this and we're going to this lovely Paloma. It is a tequila based cocktail with lime juice, grapefruit juice, soda, lime juice, simple syrup, a little salt around the rim. I'm going to tell you, every week, these drinks, these 19th hole drinks, one gets better than the next. I'm going to have the best parties this summer because I'm going to mix up all of these drinks. But this is a good one. This is a good drink.
And so how are you tying this drink into Austin, Texas?
Well, I think it's a very popular drink in Texas. It's the tequila close to Mexico. It's like a margarita.
Okay. All right. I get it.
That's it.
All right. I see the connection. It's all good. Well, all right. Let's dive into it as always. Look, John's like, I don't see the connection. What is she talking about? Just an excuse to drink. Let's recap Honda and the Australian. Matt Jones won by 5 shots on Sunday. Shot a final round 2 under 68, which was good enough to finish at 12 under. But look, he started the week with a course tying record 9 under. He shot a 61. So, John, kind of elaborate on this for a minute. Like, you know, when a golfer comes out and shoots like lights out, I mean, it was, and I want to say, I forgot, I think, was it Adam Scott played with him on Thursday? Like, the other 2 golfers that was playing with him said it was the best round of golf they've ever seen by a human being. Like, he was just so dialed in to shoot a 61. After that, do you kind of feel like, listen, not that I don't want to use the word coast, but I am using the word coast because I know that I've got such a monster lead on everyone that I'm going to play it more safe than aggressive. Is that a mentality you feel that a few golfers have when they come out and they shoot around like that on day one?
Yeah, I don't really think it is, Anita, just because it was the first round. So there's a lot of room for the field to catch up for the rest of the tournament. But I think when you're in that zone, you want to get going again as quick as you can and keep your foot on the pedal, if you know what I mean, and just get back out there. You don't want to take your foot off and throttle back. It's just, let's keep going. If you were to ask him, hey, do you want to play the second round right now? He would say, let's go. I don't care, because he's in such a good headspace. And I mean, let's be honest. He led by 3 after the first round, but after the second round, he was down by 3. And then he was back up by 3. So there's that roller coaster of having a few bad holes mixed in with the field catching up to you, where you really can't ease off. You have to keep going. So, and he played phenomenal, and it was a lot on the line for him. I mean, trip to the Masters, trip to the PGA. He gets a 2-year tour exemption and $1.26 million.
Laser. Really unbelievable. We're going to show the Masters odds in just a second, but as always, we like to put up the FedEx Cup standings. Sir Brett, our producer behind the glass, if you can please throw those up. And these are, of course, the FedEx points that we know that each and every week continue to change. But the way that Bryson DeChambeau is playing, I would not be surprised if he stays at the top. So here are the FedEx standings. Bryson won, of course, Justin Thomas 2 with his win the previous week. Cantley's had a great season. Hovland's just been a beast. Dustin Johnson, very interesting. He's at 5, topsy-turvy. Very inconsistent this year. Plays well enough to make cuts, but not great enough to win a lot of tournaments so far this season. That's the way DJ's game has been. Let's look at the other 6 through 10. If we have it. If we don't, that's okay. Okay. All right. We don't. The other 6 through 10. Is that your crickets?
No.
Was that your? Yes, it was. Or was that Brett? Was that your crickets? John, it was Brett, your volumes. Brett, your volume's down. Your volume's down.
I said I had to jump in here because that was the perfect combination of me failing at my job to have the 6 through 10 slide ready, and John perfectly playing the cricket noises while I fumble through the slides to get the right graphic.
I got you covered.
Oh my God! Here's the thing. John's probably more excited about his soundboard. Yeah, exactly. John is more excited about his soundboard with this show than the show. You really
I do. Like, I stay up late at night. I'm like, let me get some good sounds for the show this week.
Before I leave, I feel like it's a competition because I spend, I put together like 10 to 15 graphics. I shouldn't say me. Matt Canada, the CEO of Pro Football Network, does the graphics for this show. So shout out to Matt. But he does like 10 to 15 per show. And I feel like John sees the graphics and he's like, all right, I need to do at least that amount of audio from my soundboard during each show. I have to match graphic for audio each time. And now you're one up on me, John, because I didn't have the graphic and you got to play the audio. So
I'm one up in the match.
Good. So I don't have 6 through 10. Anita, if you want to read that.
That's okay.
And then I'm also only going to have the top 5 when we get to the Masters odds.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks for cluing us in, Brett. Appreciate you. So you've got Schauffele at 6, English at 7, Tony Finau at 8, Brooks at 9, and Neiman at 10. Those are your top 10 in regard to the FedEx standings. And here are your Masters odds as we inch closer and closer. The odds to win the Masters. All right, here we go. So DJ, even though, again, I just shared with you, he's 5th on the FedEx standings, he is favored to win the Masters. A tradition like no other. John Rahm at 2, along with Justin Thomas and Rory, all at 10-1. Brooks at 11-1, which I'm really surprised he's at 11-1. Dude's getting knee surgery.
He must think very highly of his ability to recover. Or somehow.
Yeah, that quickly. And by the way, it's his right knee as opposed to his left knee. So now he's got issues on both knees, which no bueno. And of course Bryson DeChambeau at 11-1 and Justin Thomas at 11-1 as well. And I do have some other, just to kind of give you some other names out there. Schauffele is 16-1. Patrick Reed is 25-1. Jordan Spieth, as well as Cantlay, 25-1. Hatton, 28-1. Morikawa, 30-1. You know I love Morikawa this season. Dude's freaking crushing it. Webb Simpson, 33-1. Decky, 33-1. Tony Finau, that's your guy, Christina, 33-1. Sanjay M, 40-1. He's having a good season. Hovland is 40-1. Just to kind of give you an idea of what are some of the odds out there right now. And obviously, as we get closer to the tournament, those odds are going to change. So if there's a golfer that you're high on, now's the time to jump all over them. All right, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for. I spent a good 5 hours. I woke up. Okay. For whatever reason, I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning.
Here we go.
Yeah. Can I get sound effect?
No.
What's
no. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, what sound effect? No, play. What sound effect do you want to play now?
Oh my
Jonathan.
God! Who the hell cares?
Okay, all right. So I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't fall back to sleep. So you know what I did? I sat there and I just did a deep dive into the statistics and the metrics and the matches in the groups for the tournament that kicks off tomorrow. That's right. Dell Technology, WGC, match play. Let's get at it. You guys ready? I know you guys probably didn't spend 5 hours, but
No, but I probably should have after looking at these picks that I have.
That's okay. You want to call me a loser? I don't care. I had a blast doing it, considering I couldn't sleep at 3 a.m. All right, here we go. Now let's look. Let's actually do this because I don't want to mess people up. I want to go to the actual groups because the way that the bracket is situated doesn't necessarily. It's not in order of the groups, and I want to do that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So here we go. Sorry, that's on me. See, now I'm the one who's not prepared. Here we go. Group 1: Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na, Bob McIntyre, right?
McIntyre. There you go.
From Scotland, Adam Long. This guys, this is a no-brainer, right?
Easy.
Dustin Johnson comes out of this.
No problem.
I got DJ on that one too.
Okay, but a lot of people, not a lot of people, but there are a few people out there that are predicting an upset in this group with McIntyre. What I really don't know a lot about this golfer. John, Christina, do you guys know anything about McIntyre?
To be honest, not really. I think this is an easy pool for DJ. He got a good draw. This should be no problem for him.
Yeah, I'm here. Here because and again, I'm just going to share with you some of the matches that are going to be. Well, first of all, let's do this. I'm sorry. I went to chapter 11 before we even got through chapter 5. John, if you can, for those that are watching right now, and I would imagine that the folks that are watching us right now are going to be watching this show are golf enthusiasts and know what match play is. But just set it up for us. Exactly what is match play? Why is this tournament different than a number of the other tournaments on tour?
Yeah, sure. So when you're playing in a match, it's 1 against 1 instead of yourself against the entire field of golfers. So just as you mentioned before, it's like a bracket system. The first round, they're going to have a pool of 4 players. So each player will play another player in their group in an 18-hole match, and whoever has the best record moves on to the Sweet 16 round of 16. This is the format that most golfers will play on the weekends with their friends. They'll get in a group. They'll say, all right, us 2 against you 2 or me against you. And it's the lowest score on the hole will win the hole. So if I'm playing Anita and I win the first maybe 11 or 12 holes, I'm 12 up. Okay? So it's not really what my score is. It's how many holes I've won. And that has a real different mentality to how you're playing golf. Okay? What you want to do, and this is my professional opinion, when I play in matches, it's you want to come out to an early lead. You want to set the tone. You want to set the pace. And I don't mean that so much by the speed. I mean it from getting on the tee first, hitting the fairway, putting the pressure on your opponent to make the shot that you have. Like I said, score really doesn't count. You can make a 7, and you can make a 4. If your opponent makes a 3, you're still only 1 down. And you'll see when you're watching this, the real good players are those that can adapt to the way the match is going. When there's an opening, they take advantage of it. If their opponent is playing really well or maybe playing poorly, they change the strategy on the golf course. So it's really a fun way to play golf because you have to kind of pivot and you have to change how you're playing based on your opponent. And like I said, your score really doesn't matter. Your total, I guess.
There's sometimes like a little like psychological warfare that they play with, right? You know, like whether
I mean, you don't want to get too focused on your opponent's play. You want to still remain aggressive, and you can't like look ahead. That's the worst thing you can do is, after I get through Kevin Na, I'm going to play so and so. Meanwhile, Kevin Na beats you 5-4.
Here's my question, right? Like Kevin Kisner is a good golfer, not a great golfer, but he excels. Louis O, like there's certain golfers that just love match play, like Sergio Garcia, like there's certain golfers that just crush it with match play. Is it a mentality thing? What is it about certain players? It's a mentality. And also from what I understand, Europeans play a lot more match play than Americans, so they're more comfortable in that type of format. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, totally agree. I grew up playing match play in high school and in college, and I'm a very good match play golfer because I think I have a short memory. Frankly, like I don't know. I don't mean that funny. I mean it like if I lose a hole, it's like, all right, let's go next hole, and I hit reset, and it's time to go win it back. And you have to have that feeling of, all right, it's over, it's done with. I lost a hole. You know, a lot different. Oh my God, I made an 8 on that last hole. I'm going to have to make 4 birdies to kind of get back into the field, and now, you get that feeling. The hole becomes smaller, and your margin of error is tighter. You have one bad hole, or the guy has a great hole, and you can't beat him. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Wipe
the slate clean, hit reset, and you'll see that guys that are good match players are those that tend to have a little calmer demeanor, and they don't get rattled very quickly.
Okay, so with that being said, now we've kind of like shared with you exactly what the difference is, right, in regard to this tournament compared to most. Group 1, all right, now it's kind of like and I love that this tournament takes place during March Madness, right? It's like March Madness meets the links, meets golf. And so Group 1, Dustin Johnson, Kevin Na, Bob McIntyre from Scotland, and Adam Long. Now, I'm going to share a little snippet because the three of us really aren't familiar with Robert, right? So McIntyre is still a relative unknown in the U.S., but he showed some inventiveness. How often do we use that word? Never. And charisma, sometimes, in a player's practice round. And curious to see what kind of nerves he's got against the swaggering alpha male of American golf. Again, a few analysts, again, I've been up since 3 a.m. doing a deep dive research into this. There's quite a few analysts who are calling the upset here with McIntyre because DJ's just been very inconsistent. Again, but we're all on the same page, right? We all have DJ coming out of Group 1.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Group 2, Justin Thomas, Louis O, Kevin Kisner, Matt Kuchar. Now, I have Kevin Kisner because he's like I said just a second ago, he excels in match play. Love Justin Thomas. Obviously, we know 2 weeks ago, him winning the Players, turned it on, had a phenomenal Sunday round. Something is telling me Kisner here. Won't be mad at you if both of you go with Justin Thomas. He probably and let's not sleep on Louis O either, the South African, because he does well in match play. But I'm going with Kisner here to come out of Group 2. Christina, who do you got?
Well, I had a hard time with this one because I like Louis. He was originally my first pick, but looking at Justin Thomas, the way he's been playing right now, he's a really good, he's been putting really well. I think birdies is going to be a really important factor in this tournament. So I did go with Justin Thomas on this one over Louis.
John?
JT, stay hot. Ball striking clinic. Another easy one.
All right. And again, I'm just sharing with you because these are some of the matches that I came across that and this might be from Golf Digest, and they're saying like these are must-watch matches. And this match between Justin Thomas and Kevin Kisner is going to take place on Thursday at 11:35 a.m. And I'm going to read the little snippet. Kisner was phenomenally talented is a phenomenally talented match play golfer. The U.S. powers that be are making a mistake, not seeing his unique skill set, how it could translate a team competition. On Thursday, we'll get to see Kisner go up against Justin Thomas. It's just so boring. I apologize.
What you have to remember, Anita, is that not only is Kisner the defending champ,
Right.
he was the runner-up in the year before that. So he had a runner-up and then
Exactly.
a champion. Right.
I know. Yeah, that was a hard one for me to pick. I'll be honest. There's a few matches in here I struggled with, and that was definitely one of them.
All right, so
he drew a bad draw because JT's the top player right now, in my opinion.
All right, so I'm on Kisner. Both of you are on JT. Group 3: John Rahm, Ryan Palmer, Shane Lowry, and Sebastian Muniz. I have Rahm. To me, this is a no-brainer. To me, I didn't even spend a second. This is one of the easiest groups to decide. Agree?
Yeah.
Are we all on Rahm?
I got Rahm. He was
You're
runner
not?
in 2017. What? No? Really?
Who do you have, Jonathan?
Shane Lowry.
Really?
Yep.
That was my boy last
That's your boy, Christina.
That was Christina's boy last
Listen,
week.
8th place at the Players. He was in contention at the Honda. Oh, why not? Listen, this is the great thing about this format is that, listen, the last 4 years, at least one player from 50 and lower has gotten to the Sweet 16. So there's going to be upsets, and this is one that I think Shane Lowry's coming out of this bracket.
Interesting.
Okay.
Go
Who
ahead.
are they paired with? I missed that. Who's Rahm playing with, and who's
It's Rahm, Ryan Palmer, Sebastian Munoz, and Shane Lowry.
Okay, got it.
All right. Group 4: Morikawa, Billy Herschel, Max Homa, and JT Poston.
Poston. Yep.
Yeah. So you know me, I love Morikawa. I'm a part of me did a little deep dive into Max Homa, but I'm rolling with Morikawa. He's just one of the best ball strikers so far this season. Christina, who do you have coming out of this group?
I have Morikawa as well. I think he's definitely on the short list of the tour's best iron players right now. So I think he's got this one.
John?
Mad Max.
You got Max Homa. I'm not mad at
Max.
you. I'm not mad at you. I won't be.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I won't be shocked. Group 5: DeChambeau, Fleetwood, Kim, and is it Rosner?
Yep.
Rosner from France. Rosner. I'm going DeChambeau. Again, Group 5, no-brainer here for me. Christina?
Tommy Fleetwood.
Of course.
Let's go. I love Tommy Fleetwood in this one as well. I'm so with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Christina.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. But when DeChambeau is driving the ball 50, 75 yards further than everybody else, you know they're going to get frustrated.
Yeah, but watching Tommy, if you watched him in Molinari back in 2018, he just grinds. He's a player. I just think I get it. It's hard. This is a hard one. I just like Fleetwood. I like
for
how.
me.
What?
He's a match play stud. Tommy Fleetwood is a match play stud.
I'm not sure how DeChambeau's going to level up. I don't know. I don't know if this is the time
Wow.
to game for him. We might see him in the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Let me do a drink to that.
Does that drink actually taste good? It looks fantastic.
This drink is so good.
Anita,
good.
what would you pay? What do you think that drink would cost? Like if we were out in the city right
In
now,
New
and
York
she was buying-
City?
yeah,
$25?
25 easily, right?
Easy.
In the
With-
Dominican. This
With the
is
salted rim.
You know how much money I've saved through this pandemic not going out in the city? A gazillion dollars.
sure. It's legit.
I would trade it all in though. I would trade it all in.
Listen. I try to find the silver lining everywhere. All right, Group 6: Shoffley, Scheffler, Jason Day, Andy Sullivan. I'm going Jason Day here. Won it back 2014 and 2016. He's won it twice. Again, another really good match play player. Up there in strokes gained on approach. I'm on Jason Day again. For me, this is a no-brainer. Christina?
Anita, I feel like I'm like your spirit animal today. Like I feel like
Well, we're wearing blue.
it's simpatico here. I got Jason Day. I do. I have Jason Day as well. And I swear I did not cheat off of your brackets.
Yeah.
How could you?
I mean, listen, I like Jason Day. He's
Okay.
he won this tournament twice. And yeah, he's got a new swing coach, so we'll see how that goes. But
John, who do you got?
I have my man Scotty Scheffler. You had to ask who I have.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
College golf in Texas. Come on,
man crush.
Man crush. Reigning rookie of the year. Been playing great.
Group 7: Patrick Reed, Neiman. You try to pronounce this dude's name. Bezu.
Come on.
Bezuidenhout.
Bezuidenhout.
From South Africa, which, by the way, there's a phenomenal article, really interesting article. I think it's either Golf Digest or where this is really outrageous story. But I guess when he was 2 years old, he was at a park with his parents, and there was a can or soda, a bottle of soda, and he was 2 years old. He picked it up and he drank it. There was rat poison in the soda can.
oh my God.
And he almost died, but now he's again. This is he's new to the tour, so we don't know a lot about him. He hasn't been interviewed a lot, but apparently he has a stuttering problem. But the stuttering problem developed because of the rat poisoning experience that he had when he was 2 years old. But thank God he's alive, and this is why he turned to golf. And it's really an outrageous story. It's wild. Google it, check it out. It makes you want to root for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. And then of course Bubba Watson coming out of Group 7. Guys, I've got Patrick Reed here, another guy playing hella great golf right now, and also really good at match play. Christina?
Yeah. I got Patrick Reed also. He likes this. He likes confrontational play. I think this is like he thrives in this kind of environment. I think he's gonna. I have him going all the way.
So, John, who do you have?
Patrick Reed, Captain America.
Yeah.
So him and Bubba. Him and Bubba play tomorrow at 2:20. Yeah, you think they're gonna come to blows?
I love it. I would love it.
Right?
Love it.
Oh my God, you couldn't ask for a better matchup. Group 8, you have Hatton, Lee Westwood, Sergio Garcia, and Matt Wallace. I'm going Garcia here. Again, the Spaniard has been playing well, lives in Austin, so he knows this course extremely well, plays here all the time, and is excellent at match play. So but I will say this. Hatton could pull the upset. Hatton can pull the upset.
Yeah.
But I'm going Sergio here. Who do you have, Christina?
Sergio. I got Sergio as well.
John?
Sergio Garcia.
Stop it.
Group
What?
9.
That's how you're supposed to say his name if you're Spanish. Garcia.
I like it. Okay.
Group 9, Webb Simpson, Paul Casey, Mackenzie Hughes, and Taylor Gooch. I got Paul Casey here.
Okay. I got Webb Simpson. How about that?
Really? He's been struggling. He's been struggling as of late.
I know, but he's you know what? I read something that he plays really well on Pete Dye courses. And if you look back at the courses that he has won on, Harbortown, which I'm playing this year, just want to throw that out there. Sawgrass, Louisiana, he plays well. So I'm using that in his I'm using that in my pick.
Okay. John.
I like Paul Casey. I think he's a tough out. Sweet 16, 3 of the last 5 times playing in this tournament.
Yeah.
Another match play stud, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Group 10, Cantlay, Decky, Carlos Ortiz, and Brian Harmon. Now, I'm on Cantlay. You know me. I love Cantlay, right? But I would not be surprised if Brian Harmon pulls the upset here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Cantlay, but I won't be surprised if either you have Harmon. Who do you have, Christina?
I have Cantlay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have Cantlay.
Okay. Are you
Wow.
John, are you worried about Harmon at all?
Yeah, listen, he obviously was in contention at the Players, and he played well, but I just think Cantlay has, before he missed the cut at the Players, he had 6 straight top 20s. He's got a solid all-around game. I think he's tough to beat in match play.
Group 11, Rory, Cameron Smith, Griffin, and Ian. I just, and we're going to get to it in just a second, or actually we should talk about it right now. I mean, Rory went out and hired a swing coach to get him ready for the Masters. If that's the case, what makes you think that he's going to win this match play? I've got Cameron Smith coming out of here, the Australian. That's who I have.
Okay.
Christina?
I'm actually going to go with Ian Poulter. I like Pulse. I think he's a lot of fun in these match plays. I'm seeing John roll his eyes at me. But I enjoy watching him play in water polo matches. I think that these are the tournaments that Ian Poulter rises to the top, and I like Ian Poulter a lot in this matchup.
Listen, he has done well in match play.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Fancy.
Are you fucking kidding me, really, with these 2 picks? Rory McIlroy is going to fucking walk away with this pool. He's going against a 25 seed, a 46 seed, and a 60 seed.
Okay.
He's got all the talent. This is going to kickstart his resurgence. He's got a new coach coming in.
Do you want to bet a bottle of wine between both Christina and I?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so Christina and I,
This is like taking money from a baby right now.
Christina and I have the field, and you have Rory. And if Rory,
the pool, that pool, you have the other 3 guys,
right? That's what
and
I
I
mean.
have Rory.
However,
I need odds, so it's 2 bottles for me for 1 bottle for you.
Yes,
Okay.
2 bottles for you if Rory wins.
Correct. Okay.
Right.
Whatever.
But if any of the other guys win and come out of this group 11, you buy both Christina and I a bottle of wine.
Fine.
Okay. Group 12, Tony Finau, Coke Rack, my guy, Willie Z, Zalatoris, baby. And Fratelli. Dylan Fratelli. He's from South Africa. He's not Italian.
I just like saying Fratelli because it makes me sound like I know how to speak Italian.
You know where I'm going with this. I'm going Willie Zalatoris. Listen, this rookie is unbelievable. He checks all the boxes. Driving distance, strokes gained on approach, putting. He checks all the boxes. I understand he's a rookie, not very familiar with match play. I have a feeling that one of you are going to go Finau here. That's what my gut's telling me, but man, I'm all over Willie Z.
Guilty. So I'll tell you, this was a really hard match for me to pick because I'm going with Tony. This was hard. I mean, for so many reasons. He's playing really well. I mean, his stats show like he's going to play well. I mean, he plays incredible. He played incredible at the 2019 President's Cup, right? But Kokrak, he's got straight top 10 finishes right now. He's probably the hottest player in this group. But yeah, Zalatoris, I knew you were going to go for him, but This was hard. Yeah, Tony. I have to go with Tony.
Of course you're going. I know. You love Tony. John?
Yeah, I got Tony also. I just feel like this is like a little less stressful environment for Tony. Like it's just 1 against 1. He has to worry about the fields, looking at the scoreboard. Let's see, he's been pretty steady. I mean, he's got top 10 5 of the last 8 times.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Let's roll, Tony.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
okay. Group 13, Hovland, Abraham, Answer, Weisberger, and Streelman. Now, I was on the fence here between Hovland and Answer, okay? But I ended up going Hovland. My only...
Okay.
What? Go ahead. What
No,
were you going to say?
No, I did say I had the same too. I was tossed. I was going between Answer and Hovland as well. So I'm glad you went Hovland because I went Answer on this one.
Oh,
Hovland.
really?
Hovland
Okay, good.
is the correct response. We were looking for Hovland.
There you go. Watch. She's picked what? She's picked 4 winners so far on our show. That's right, she has. Watch, Answer's gonna win this group, and you and I are gonna be eating crow. Group 14. Now I find this group very interesting. Daniel Berger, who's dealing with a rib injury.
Mm-hmm.
Harris English and Brendan Todd, who's been not very consistent, topsy-turvy, highs, lows, and is it Eric Van Ruin? Ruin? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
If you can't pronounce their name, you're not allowed to pick them.
Well, that's who I'm picking.
You're not allowed.
That's who I'm
You have to
picking.
pronounce-
That's who I'm picking. Are either of you going with Daniel Berger with the rib injury?
No.
You know what? I am, and this.
I knew it.
Listen, English also withdrew last week. This was seriously an eeny, meeny, miny, mo because I think any one of the 4 can win this. I really, but I'm going with Berger. I think he can muscle through the little rib injury. I think he's fine.
So I put all of the names of the golfers in this group and wrote them on a little piece of paper and rolled them up into a ball and threw them. And whatever one I picked up first was the one I was going to pick. So I picked Harris English.
He was my second choice.
I total shot in the dark.
That's how you feel about this group 14. Total shot in the dark.
Total shot in the dark.
Whole group.
Okay.
Sorry, Mrs. Van Ruyen, if you're listening.
There
I
you
disrespected your son.
There you go. Group 17.
15.
I'm sorry, group 15. Matt Fitzpatrick, Matthew Wolf, Corey Connors, and Jordan Spieth. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going with Jordan Spieth. I know. I can't believe it. I know. He's just been playing so damn well lately. I was on the fence. So I was on the fence with Corey Connors. I was on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two. I know. Those are the 2 that I was deciding upon. But I just think like Spieth is playing out of his mind this season, and I went with Spieth. What?
I know.
Christina, who do you have?
I actually originally put Spieth in. He was my first. That was like my knee jerk. I clicked Spieth, and then I took a step back, and I thought about it, and I picked Fitzpatrick. I went with Fitzpatrick.
Oh my god! Yeah. Okay.
You have Connors, don't you?
Yes, I have Connors.
Wow, how about that?
I think
Third
Fitzpatrick
at the Arnold Palmer, 7th at the Players. The guy's like one of the hottest players on the planet right now. And
This is the first group that the 3 of us all picked a different golfer. This is the first group that we all 3 have somebody different. Very interesting. Okay. Group 16, Victor Perez, Leishman, and Henley. Let me tell you something. This is a very difficult group. This might be one of the most difficult groups. I went with Victor Perez.
You did.
I did.
Why?
I think he's gonna pull the upset here. I really do.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. A lot of my picks have been chalk.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to mix it up a little bit.
I'm with M.
Okay.
Is that how do you write that? I'm with him. I am with.
I almost
am.
didn't even say it. I had a
I'm
question
with
about it. Listen, this is his first time playing this tournament, I think. So I'm not sure how he's really going to fare up in a match play tournament. I couldn't really find information about his match play history, but he's been playing well. He was out there defending last week at the Honda, and his T17 finish at the Players, I think, was impressive. So
listen,
I love Swing JM. I love that pick.
M and Henley both finished in the top 10 last week at Honda.
I got future money on him to win a major this year. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. And
I do too. I think so.
What he had 8th. I think he finished 8th last week at the Honda.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
8th in
like
Honda.
the machine.
So just to sum this up, and again, just to kind of like bring it all in regard to where my two finalists are and who I think is going to win this. So I've got DJ advancing to take on Garcia advancing. I've got DeChambeau taking on Morikawa. DeChambeau advancing, and DeChambeau making it to the final round over Garcia. I've got Kisner advancing over Spieth. I've got Patrick Reed advancing over Kisner to face John Rahm. John Rahm beating Jason Day. So my two finals are both John Rahm and DeChambeau. They're both favored 14-1 to win this thing, and I've got DeChambeau winning. That's who I have. I've got DeChambeau winning. Who are your two finalists, Christina?
I've got DJ and Morikawa, and Reed and Rahm, and I have. Oh wait, no, wait. Did I read this wrong? No, what do I have here? Oh wait, I have to look. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. No, I've got Rahm over DJ. I have Rahm winning the whole thing.
You have Rahm winning the whole thing, 14-1. 14-1. And you have him over DJ. So do you have DJ? So do you have DJ? Do you have DJ? So obviously, then you have DJ beating DeChambeau. Who do you have DJ beating?
I have DJ and Morikawa and then
DJ going up against Rahm. Rahm beating DJ for the championship.
Exactly.
Okay, John, who do you have?
My finals is Victor Hovland defeating Patrick Reed.
Ooh,
Hovland defeating Patrick Reed. Okay,
that's spicy.
Okay.
I like that. I have Patrick Reed going to the semifinals, but again, just getting beat by John Rahm. So anyway, those are our picks. Really exciting. Again, we have a bracket for the show. It's on the tee. It's a bracket. You can find the link to the bracket on all our social media website accounts. I'm, of course, at Anita Marks. You can see it right there. Of course, Jay Mascari, PGA, and Christina at Golf for Her. We have the link, and whoever comes in first, John Mascari is going to donate, and they will win a
Epic Speed Driver.
It's awesome, John. Thank you. Toast to you, my friend.
My pleasure.
Toast to you.
I'm going to save on shipping because it's going right to my house.
Okay. Oh boy. All right. Let's talk about some of the topics that are out there right now. We mentioned it just a second ago. Rory has a new swing coach to get him ready for the Masters. That's why I am fading him here starting tomorrow at the WGC. But John, what can you tell us about, is it Pete
Cowan? Yeah.
Pete Cowan
is probably the best instructor you've never heard of. I mean, he's working with Matt Fitzpatrick. He worked with Koepka, Lee Westwood, Sergio, Henrik Stenson. Who else? I think he worked with Poulter also, an Englishman. Listen, Rory's been working with the same swing coach since he was 8 years old.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, after missing the cut at Sawgrass, he believes his swing has gotten a little too long, a little too flat. We talked about it last time. He felt like he was chasing Bryson and trying to hit it farther, and his swing has kind of got a little bit out of whack. So I think Pete will straighten him out. They worked together when Rory was on the Irish national team, I believe. He's got 5 major champs underneath his belt. One of the things I love about Pete Cowan, and check this out, is how he sets up his fees for his players. He gets 4% of their winnings if they finish in the top 10. If they don't finish in the top 10, they don't have to pay him.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But there's a little catch.
What's the average of what is the average number of clientele that finish in the top 10 every year?
That's an interesting. I have no idea. But what I find funny is that if a player leaves his tutelage, if he goes from Pete to another instructor and does not, let's call it, leave a little token of appreciation, he's never welcome back. Don't even step foot on my range ever again.
And what amount?
Like he leaves a little. Hey, he had top 20s here, there. He doesn't leave him a little something like as a thank you. He's never welcome back.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think he's going to straighten out Rory. I think it'll be fine.
Michael Bannon is the teacher, the instructor that Rory's been working with since he was 8 years old. And due to the pandemic, apparently they haven't worked. They've seen a lot less of each other over the past year because of the pandemic. And also keep in mind, Rory and his wife did just have a baby as well. By the way, if you've got any questions for the show, post them up on our message board. And Brett, at the end of the show, Brett will pop back on with us and we'll answer as many questions as we can before we do in the show tonight. Spieth, there's an interesting story out on Spieth in regard to his wrist and a bone chip that he was suffering through in 2018. This is the first I'm hearing about this. Did you know about this bone chip before, guys? Right?
Mm-hmm. First time I saw it.
I thought the problem with Spieth the past 2 years was in here. Right in there.
It still could be that.
It was right there.
A combination of it.
Anyway, Brooks Koepka knee surgery. So here's unfortunately, it's the right knee now. And which is a shame because he's already dealing with an issue with the left knee. So now both his knees are going to be, I'm sure, an issue moving forward. But he had a right knee cap dislocation and ligament damage. Did he do that? Like I don't remember him. I don't know. Do you guys know how he did it? Did he do it playing? I don't know.
Who knows? I have no idea.
You don't know, Christina? I thought he was like your boy.
I know. Christina, I thought you knew Christina's everything about.
I hope he slept falling out of the shower.
I thought you knew everything about Brooks Koepka.
Is this guy like just breaking down, or is it me? Like I feel like every time it's wrist injury, left knee, right knee, the neck. Right, he had the neck injury. We
have his brother out there to root for. Hopefully, his brother's gonna take his spot and play well.
Hey, I think didn't his brother finish top 25 last week at Honda?
He finished. Yeah.
Right.
Is that your new guy now? You're dumping.
No, listen, they're a little too young for me.
Oh.
No, but who knows, Brooke? I mean, these guys, they're getting, they beat their bodies up a lot. So
we're already 49 minutes into the show, and we are now just mentioning Ricky Fowler.
No, just keep going. This is the Ricky background music.
Yep.
I love Ricky's new commercial, his Corona commercial, by the way.
I love that you had to say his new commercial. Like he's got so many commercials. Did you see his new commercial?
You know what? I just think it's great because it's just him kicking back with the Corona. I don't know. I just liked it.
Anyway, he's, of course, we know that he's been struggling. Now he's changing his irons. He's going from his RV Rev 33 prototype blades to Cobra's King Forge CBs. Do you know anything about these Cobra King?
I do, actually. As a resident golf pro on the show, I should know this stuff.
Well, what can you tell us?
The CB stands for cavity back. So he plays a traditional flat back muscle blade, and the cavity back has a little bit of offset and is a little more forgiving for little. But the 4, 5, and 6 irons are a little more forgiving. The 7, 8, 9 pitch, the shorter irons are still that muscle back, so they're dialed in for more precision. But it's a little helping hand from the guys at Cobra for Mr. Fowler. See if you can get it airborne.
Also, DeChambeau is coming out with trading cards. Now, Christina, you like, I was a huge tomboy, so I had trading cards. Did you have did you have trading cards when you were younger?
I was such a tomboy growing up. I have 3 boxes of baseball cards upstairs in my closet right now. I mean,
John, you know what she probably has? She probably has like Mickey Mantle's rookie card worth $500,000. She doesn't even know it.
Who's Baby Ruth? Who's this guy?
There's a good chance. There's a very good chance. No, I mean, I get that. And I also have a good collection of Garbage Pail Kids collector cards also. So I'm just aging myself. I'm not getting this DeChambeau card. Like, I'm trying to understand this digital trading card that he's doing. Have you guys looked into this? Are you familiar with what this is? It's like you can bid on cards, and it's like it's an investment. I'm with Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm very confused by this whole thing.
I don't get it. I know, Brad. Like, come on.
I feel like I have to put my youth to use here.
Oh, please do, Brad. Please do.
What Christina is attempting to articulate is the idea of something called an NFT, which stands for non-fungible token. And what that is a non-tangible, something you can't touch or hold in your hand because it's digital. But also it cannot be altered. It cannot be changed. It's one of a kind. It's unique. You mentioned Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also a digitized token. It's cryptocurrency, but you can replicate Bitcoin. As we know, Bitcoin is now currency. So you make more of it, you mine it, and then you can use it. An NFT, on the other hand, cannot be replicated. It's one of a kind. And so when you mention people investing in it, people are investing in it because it's like art. You bid on it, and because once you own it, you are the only person in the world who has it.
Yeah, so fans are bidding for the right to own a unique digital highlight, which can then be held or sold on the secondary market.
Right.
Each NFT holds its own unique value.
And this is a great point by one of our audience members, Brian McG1. The NBA has this. It's one of the most popular things in sports right now is NBA Top Shots. People bid on LeBron James highlights. One of them sold for a couple $1 million recently. Sotheby's, which is famous for its art auctions, just sold an NFT in the art world that sold for $69 million. So this is not a passing fad. This is something that is certainly becoming quite the attraction around the world in multiple industries. And sports is actually one of the rare times where sports is leading the way in artistic culture. So very interesting.
Is DeChambeau the only one doing this right now, or is there other golfers? Because this is the first I'm hearing of this. Do we know?
I personally think right now DeChambeau, his brand.
I was gonna say he's probably the only one who could do it.
Right. I think he's the only one who could do it right now. Anyway, cool. So those are some news and some notes. Brett, while you're here, why don't we do this? Do you have questions up?
I do. I have 3 really good ones that I've selected.
Well, let's do the questions and then we'll end with our LPGA update, Christina. Okay.
Okay. First up, the Rory McIlroy. You guys just talked about his swing coach and having a new swing coach, but one of our audience members points out that his attempt at power has been what's been most detrimental to him. Is that a swing issue, guys, or is that something where it could be dietary, injury related, exercise? How much can you really add to your power by tinkering with your swing?
You definitely can. I think if you know Rory and his regimen, he's pretty set with his food and his workout regimen, but he got longer. His swing is getting longer. His backswing is getting longer. He's mentioned it himself that he's getting flatter in his swing because he feels like he has to hit it farther to compete with Bryson. And we said this last week where I'm like, you hit it far already, dude.
Right.
But yeah, and I think he's realized that as his swing has gotten longer, he's lost control. Let's put it that way. He's lost control and he's spraying a little bit. So he's going to throttle back. He's not going to throw the haymaker every time. It's going to be short jabs, but his short jabs still go 340 down the middle.
Well, this was something we did talk about last week, because that was actually relative to an audience question that we got last week, which is, do you suspect that there are players on the tour who are going to begin changing their games to keep up with Bryson, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak? So it looks like maybe Rory's got a little bit of that going on. But speaking of Bryson, our next question is relative to him, which is, you guys talked about the difference between match play and stroke play, and how different strategies are involved. Is this an event that is uniquely beneficial to Bryson, which sounds scary to say because it seems like every event these days is beneficial to Bryson?
So I'm the only one who has.
You're picking him to win it.
I'm picking him. I'm picking him to win it. No, I'm picking him to win it. Yes. Right? Did I have him or yeah?
You have DeChambeau in your bracket.
I have DeChambeau upsetting Rahm, but I have DeChambeau. I'm the only one out of the three of us having DeChambeau coming out of his group.
Right.
I think when it's Imano, right? Imano. I think that it's going to be really intimidating when you're playing match play against somebody. You're not in a group. You're match play, and DeChambeau is just like out driving you. I think what's going to happen is that other individual is going to think, like we're just talking about, like what Rory's thinking, right? Like, oh my God, I've got to hit it harder. I've got to hit it further because DeChambeau is like 30, 40 yards ahead of my average, drive distance. So I just think there are so many things about him that are intimidating. Here's another thing we didn't talk about, and that is the way the untimely fashion that DeChambeau plays around a golf really pisses people off, right? Yes. And so I think that's another thing. Like, I don't, I'm not saying, I'm sure he's a great guy, but when I play with somebody who's really slow, I mean, we've all been there. We've all played with somebody who's really slow. Like, it screws us up. It gets us out of our rhythm. It takes us out of our game.
Would you guys say
I think he's going to play. He's going to play even slower.
Well,
he's going to drop the anchor off and just be like, "Anchor's away. Here we go."
Would you guys say?
I just had one thought to that whole logic, though. I think match play. I think this is going to set up really well for those long drive players, because keeping in mind, whoever's hitting the ball the furthest will have the luxury of seeing what their opponent did on their approach shot. So I think he's going to outdrive his players. So the person who he's playing with is going to be taking that. They're always going to be, away. So he's going to have that extra. He's going to have that extra advantage to see what that approach shot's going to be. So I think the advantage for this game is going to be those long drivers. So how to throw that in.
You're so smart.
Would you guys say that golf is one of those sports that you tend to play? We talk, like, when we watch like team sports, and not that you guys don't, Christina and John, but I know Anita does. When we watch team sports, and I know you've been really big on the NBA more recently this year, we always talk about teams that play down to the level of their competition, right? The Brooklyn Nets, for example, they're like crazy good record against playoff teams, but they keep losing to teams that suck. Is golf one of those sports too? Like, if you're playing around with somebody who is not as good as you, do you tend to play down to their competition versus when you're playing with somebody who's way better than you, you tend to have your best round of the season? Is that something that could come into play here?
I think so. I think so. So every time I tee off, my goal is to break 80. Like if I break 80, to me, like it makes my year, right? It makes my day. And there's only a few times, I want to say, like, I broke 80, like I want to say maybe 6 times. One time, Christina, was with you and Mallory. Remember at Galloping Hill? Remember? And I really, it was around, we were playing with a Tour Pro, and so I definitely brought my A game that day, because we were playing with a Tour Pro. Not that I wanted to impress her, but like, I wanted to play good golf. And then this past summer, I was playing with Kate, who we all know. Kate is a former pro. She just got back on her amateur card so she can compete in amateur tournaments. But she goes out, she shoots her 72 in her sleep. And so and I was with Steve and Jackie Torso, owners of Hollowbrook. So it was the four of us playing, And I always feel that when I play with Kate, my game elevates because of that competitiveness in knowing that she's a scratch golfer. So yeah, I mean, for me, I do. And also, like, for me as well, you know this, guys, when there's money on the line. Christina, when you and I play, you don't really like to gamble. So I feel like I play better when I've got money on the line as well.
Yeah, it's interesting how that translates like across the skill levels. Like
John, do you feel like do you play better when you go to your tournaments and you play with other club pros and you play in those tournaments that you guys compete?
Yeah, I think it's also. I don't know if it's so much for me. It's who I'm with as more as the event itself. Like you become focused on your job. You know, for me, it's a job. So I'm not really concerned with. I shouldn't say this. I actually I'm more concerned with who I'm playing with from a comfort level. You know, if they're guys that are kind of laid back and talkative, I usually have a better round.
Yeah.
If I'm playing with other people that they won't say a word to me, it kind of puts me in an uncomfortable position just because of who I am. But you know, when I'm getting ready to play in a tournament or I'm on the range or I'm warming up, it's focus on my game and the event at hand.
All right, so John, if I ever play with you, I will not talk to you, and that will be my only chance.
You'll fuck me up totally.
You know, I get invited to so many charity events. You know, we get invited to so many outings and people who I play regular golf with. I have a good game. I play well. And so they'll invite me to come and play on their foursome. They're like, all right, so we're going to like stack our foursome. We're going to go out and play. I'm notorious for shitting the bed in any kind of like outing or scramble or anything. So yeah, that's just the kind of golfer I am. I think I prove that every time I get invited, and I'm the.
You're not making a good case for being invited to any tournaments anymore.
I'm not. I'll just go and have fun at a regular good round of golf. That's what I enjoy.
I do have 2 more questions here before I leave you guys for the remainder of the show. Number one is we're seeing, and we just talked about this with Bryson. You guys said that you feel he is going to be slowing it down, which is already a problem. Perceived problem with him on the tour. All sports are beginning to move to this idea of pace of play. Football has a play clock already. We're seeing baseball move to a pitch clock. Even college lacrosse and pro lacrosse now has shot clocks. Basketball has a shot clock. Is it inevitable that golf will institute some sort of pace of play ruling in the way that the other sports have all pretty much done, the major sports in North America?
Well, they tried last year, John, right? Because so many people were complaining about Bryson, right?
Yep. I've been in the golf industry for 20 years now, and I've been playing golf since I was 14, and it's always been a problem. Pace of play has always been an issue at country clubs, at public courses, on the tour, because there's always going to be guys that feel like they have to play slower because that's how they just operate. They need to take as much information as they can. Go ahead. I think it was it Matt Wolf, who's a pretty quick player. They had him. He was like 30 seconds. He was like half a practice swing and then go. It's been fooling around social media the last few days of fast golf. But I don't know if that'll ever happen, unfortunately.
It's interesting because you mentioned all the different venues where golf is played. The latest sport to get into it is lacrosse. Pro lacrosse started with a shot clock, and now we're seeing college lacrosse also has a shot clock. So it's one of those things where do we see it on the tour first, and then it begins to trickle its way down into more amateur settings?
I think it's hard because it's a sport that doesn't have a game clock in general.
Right.
All the sports you've mentioned have the period is 20 minutes. We have baseball and golf. There's no time clock. The game could last all night long. So it's a little more challenging, I think, for those games.
Okay.
What's your last question?
The final question is the 2 biggest sporting events in this country are the Super Bowl and March Madness. And this event is the first on the calendar that represents an opportunity for bracket style play, as we talked about with your own brackets, which, by the way, I'm going to do one tonight because I'm trying to get that driver. Maybe I'll let myself into it. So
Queens isn't that far from New Jersey, so I wouldn't mind shipping it there.
There you go. So save you on shipping costs. So so with that being said, does golf need more events like this that are extremely engaging for the fans to feel like they're doing something similar to what's already popular amongst the broader public, March Madness and the Super Bowl. Even though the Super Bowl is not a bracket style, it's very engaging in terms of prop bets and betting where even the casual person's involved. Does golf need more of that?
Well, how many, John, do you know off the top of your head, Christina, do you guys know off the top of your head how many tournaments are match play on tour? I want to, like, isn't there like 5?
I think there are, and they're trying to get into a co-ed one. Christina, is that right? They're going to try to do a co-ed team event, maybe?
They've been trying to do this. I would love to see more match play events, especially because there's like on the LPGA tour, but I do know they've been talking about trying to get that on the schedule. So I know it's been in the works.
But you got to remember that there's a lot of people who don't like the match play, especially some of the stronger players, because a 64 can beat a 1 in a bracket in golf. Whereas if you put these two people in a tournament together over 4 days, the 1 is going to win the majority of the time. So,
but that's what makes March Madness such a great thing here is it's how quickly before your bracket gets busted because a 16 seed upsets a 15 seed upsets a 2 seed. So
everybody loves it except for the 2 seed.
Right. So I guess the question is, right, like who should the PGA be more concerned with pleasing? The tour players themselves or
the fan base?
Well, I think that's why they changed to this pooled system where they have a little round robin first and then you get into the bracket. Before it was just 1 plays 64, 2 plays 63, and then I don't think that was looked at too well by the players. And then, your point with the Super Bowl, too. I mean, look at the FedEx playoffs. That was never something within the last maybe 10 years.
No. And NASCAR's tried that, too, and NASCAR hasn't found success with that either. But on that note, guys, that is all from me. Thank you very much. Anita, I like to do this now because we have 2 great shows on the Pro Football Network. One is your own show, Friday nights, 7 o'clock. It's you and the amazing Steve Verderosa. Breaking down the board where we talk about the NFL draft, which is coming up in April. So make sure you're checking that out because Steve and Anita crush it on that show. And then Trey Wingo joins us Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's tomorrow night for his show, Draft Insiders with PFN insider Tony Pauline, where they break down all the inside info on college pro days, draft, everything going on in the NFL on the Pro Football Network YouTube channel. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you at the other side.
Fantastic. Brett, thank you. Really appreciate it. Let's end on a girly note. What's the latest with the LPGA? What's going on this week, Christina?
So this week we have the Kia Classic. It's being played out at Aviara Golf Club in Carlsbad, which is California, for those that are geographically challenged. There's going to be no fans at this event, which is kind of a bummer because we've been seeing fans, the last few events at these PGA events. So that's kind of a disappointment for the local fans because Michelle Wee West will be in the field this week. It is her first LPGA start. I know everyone is very excited to see her back. She hasn't played since 2019. So, it was an unintentional departure from the tour. It started off with a wrist injury. She's been battling arthritis in her wrist. So anyway, she's taken some time off. She got married, had a baby, has focused a little bit more on herself. I mean, she's been in the spotlight, since she was 13 years old. So I think she's a different person now at 31. And I think the time away from the tour has been helpful for her. I don't think anyone's really expecting magic from her coming out as being her first tournament, but I think this is a first step. I think we're going to see a little sprinkle of greatness out there. I think the fans who are watching, who are going to be able to watch from home, are going to be tuning in to watch to see how she plays. And I think this is going to be a good primer for her to get ready for the following week, which is the ANA Inspiration. It's the LPGA's first major of the year. So that happens the following week at Rancho Mirage. So I think, all eyes are to be on Michelle to see how she plays. But I'll be honest, this field is jam-packed. It is a full field. Everyone, it's like the band is back together. All the players are coming out of, their time off and coming out here to California for their California swing. We've got all 4 of Golf for Her tour ambassadors playing in the tournament this week. So, I'll be rooting for, if you need someone to root for, you have to root for Tiff Joe. She is the local. She's from Carlsbad. Unfortunately, her friends aren't going to be able to be in the gallery like they always are, but she's going to be out there having a time of her life out there. Mo Martin is back out, Jane Park, and Marina Alex. So all 4 of them are in the field. We've got the Jutonic arms that are out there. So great golf this week and next week. So please tune in. The ladies can really, like I said, show some support. Watch these tournaments.
More importantly, who's going to win it?
Oh, God, that's such a hard one. I think this week, dang, I don't know. You caught me off guard. I haven't really thought about who's going to win it, to be honest with you, because I've just been so excited that the tournament is playing. But gosh, man, the field is deep and talented this year. So
all right, so just when does it start? When does it? Thursday?
It's starting Thursday. It starts Thursday. It's 4-day tournament.
Okay, so just make sure send out a tweet. Do your research. Do some due diligence. Tweet out who you think is going to win this bad boy. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, we so appreciate you tuning in. Every Tuesday night, we're here 7:00 on the tee. Myself, Anita Marks, John Mascari, Christina Thompson. Again, it is match play. The tournament starts tomorrow, not Thursday. It starts tomorrow. So you've got to get your bracket into our pool. Again, you can see all our Twitter handles here. Go to one of our Twitter handles. We have the link. Sign up. Submit your bracket. There you go, John. Submit your bracket. Submit your bracket. Whoever wins our on the tee bracket challenge for the Dell Technologies WGC Championship. John Mascari is going to reward them with a Callaway Epic driver. So that's what we're giving away. So really some exciting stuff here. Guys, thank you so much. Christina.
You're welcome.
Are you going to make yourself a second drink? I know you are.
It's in the shaker.
There you go. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we're with you. There you go. Every Tuesday night right here on PFN, all our social media sites with On the Tee. We'll be back next week to recap this event and look forward to the Mascari.
I know.
That's right. We'll be here before we know it. Everybody have a great night.